Hello there and welcome to a fresh episode of the program Last Week in Nigeria. My name is Emmanuel Oriowo. Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles at Last Week in Nigeria is the handle to use. And of course, on our YouTube channel, subscribe, like, comment, and turn on the notification bell to have subsequent episodes. Last week in Nigeria, so much went down. We had august visitors who came all the way from the United Kingdom, talking about the Duchess and Meghan, who came to visit us in Nigeria. So let's set the ball rolling now as we begin with the stories that made the headlines last week in Nigeria. Last week in Nigeria, we heard that Rivers crisis deepened as court restrains Amaewhule and 25 others from parading themselves as assembly members. That was reported by this day newspaper last week in Nigeria. The Tribune has this one. PDP wants APC over Rivers, disowns pro-Wike lawmakers. That's the way the Tribune newspaper captioned it. And that was reported last week in Nigeria. Also last week in Nigeria, we had the report of the NLC and the federal government having a meeting that hit the deadlock. Initially, there were mixed feelings and anxiety as workers expect new minimum wage. That's the way the Sunday Sun newspaper captions it. But later in the twilight of the week, we heard that the Nigerian Labour Congress stormed out of a meeting because the federal government was proposing 48,000 naira as against the 615,000 naira the Nigerian Labour Congress were putting forward to the federal government. And guess what? The federal government is keeping their stand on 48,000 naira. The NLC and TUC are saying 615,000 naira or nothing. And there's a warning there. There's a caveat. And the caveat is that the labor unions are giving the federal government till the 31st of May, 2024, or there's going to be a showdown. Let's keep our fingers crossed to see how that is going to happen. Because come to think of it, by the 31st of May, it's going to be the euphoria of 1 year in office of this present administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is coming up on the 29th of May. Also on this program last week in Nigeria, we'll keep you posted about the reactions of Nigerians concerning 1 year of the present administration in the saddle. More news for you. The Guardian newspaper has this one. Mistrust, greed, stall takeoff of new telephony licenses in 31 states. That's the way the Guardian newspaper captions it. And this one back to Rivers State. Fubara blows hot on what? Well, I saw the video trending last week. It was almost unimaginable. What is going on in that state? The predecessor is now the federal minister, and the president governor happens to be one of his foot soldiers. But what's happening now? They're at a crossroad. Let's see how that pans out. FEC adopts CNG-powered vehicles for ministries' agencies. In the face of fuel subsidy removal, the Nation newspaper has this one, that the federal government is adopting CNG-powered vehicles for ministries and agencies. Perhaps that will force down the cost of governance. One, the Leadership newspaper has this one. It says, 2027, Atiku, Obi, Saraki, Lamido begin alliance talks. Politicking starting against 2027 already, if you may ask. Could that be another third force coming? We'll keep our fingers crossed. Daily Independent newspaper has this one. Power sector privatization, federal government worst policies, mistake. Who's speaking here? The Labor Union. Still the Labor pickets National Electricity Regulatory Commission, that is NERC, DISCO's offices nationwide over electricity tariff hike. The Nigerian News Direct has this one on the front page, and it's about inflation. CBN will tackle interest rates to retain foreign investment. We're speaking here. Cardoso, that's the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Cardoso sticks to orthodox policy despite Naira pressure. Let's see how that's going to help our inflation, which is rising at a blaring figure on a daily basis. Terrorists kill 5 soldiers, many villagers in Katsina. That's the way the Daily Trust newspaper captions it on the front page. And we have this one. FG to deploy 20 trillion naira pension funds to drive economic growth. That's the way the Daily Independent puts it. Now, the pensioners, what will be on their mind? They'll be thinking, our money that is supposed to be given to us when we retire or after retiring is now going to be used to drive the economy to the tune of 20 trillion naira. I hope that money is safe. I hope it won't end in the pockets of some private citizens. That might be the thoughts of some people, perhaps. I'm just saying. This one says, ASU issues strike notice. Oh my God, there we go again. That's the way the Daily Sun newspaper captions it. The Nigerian News Direct is saying, digital economy, FG unveils SPV to improve internet penetration, GDP growth. That was reported last week in Nigeria. The Nation newspaper, we have this one on the front page. The Minister of Electricity is saying, electricity tariff hike reversal will derail the reform plan. Okay, there's a plan, especially for those on the Band A category. There's a plan. So, if they reverse the electricity tariff, the minister is saying it will affect the plans. It will derail their plans, using this word. Now we have this one, the economy, on the front page of the Matrix. Tinubu takes big, bold decisions. What are those decisions? We'll get to feel them. The Guardian newspaper has this one. Nigeria's $1.8 billion US gold reserves mined into private pockets. Aha! There we go. That's the way Guardian newspaper captions that story, and it was reported last week in Nigeria. Whoa! Look at this one. Naira slide swells oil loans by 78% to 11.8 trillion naira. That's the way the Business Day captions it. EFCC raids speculators as naira drops precisely 1,540 naira per dollar. That's the way the Punch newspaper captions it. Tinubu inaugurates 3 gas projects, pledges to wean Nigeria from overdependence on petrol, diesel. Now, the Nigerian Tribune has this one, as reported last week in Nigeria. Senate in fresh move to secure autonomy for local government. You recall that lately, the local government, which is the third tier of government, is in the pockets of all state governors because they determine what goes on at the local government level. Instead of us to have a 3-tier government, that is the federal, the state, and the local government, we now have the federal and the state. The local government activities are under the purview of the state government, and they determine what goes on there, including their funds. So now, the Senate is saying, look, we're looking into that. The local government needs to be having their own way. In other words, their autonomy should be secured. Now, away from that, let's go to the entertainment scene. Oh my God. Wahoo! For the entertainment scene, oh my God. Popular Zazu Master, aka Portable. The Zazu crooner came up in the news again. For what this time around? For owing the balance of his lovely exotic car that he bought, because the owner of the vehicle came asking for the balance and didn't just come like that. He came in with an attaché, or should I say, a number of officers to get him arrested. And we saw that dramatic jump by superstar Portable. But in a swift reaction, in his normal style, after he got the bail, Zazu, who is also known for using all his predicaments to sing, he decided to drop a brand new single, Spider-Man. You want to have the feel of that? Come on, you can have a feel of it. The Zazu crooner is always on top of his game. Some people love him for this, some people hate him for this, but whether you like it or not, he's an artist and he chooses his own style. Now to the sporting scene. Let's look at what we have for you on the sports scene. Last week in Nigeria, as reported, Osimhen trains alone as he's recuperating. We wish you well, brother. That's one of our superstars making us proud in Nigeria, and we can't wait to have you back on your feet. Osimhen as he trains alone. And also we had this one, Boniface wins Bundesliga Rookie of the Season award. That's also on the Sporting Sun newspaper, as reported last week in Nigeria. For more sporting gist for you, Punch Sports newspaper puts it this way on the front page. Like Eagles, like Bafana. That is reporting what went down. Chukwueze tops Eagles injury lists ahead of South Africa World Cup clash. Bafana battles fitness concern. Look at it. We are having it here. We are having it in South Africa. But we wish all of them well and for them to come back strong so that we can have that clash. I love football. What about you? Okay, away from that, we want to appreciate you for being there. Don't forget, you can put your money where your mouth is. Advertise your goods and services on the program at Last Week in Nigeria. Follow us on all our social media handles at Last Week in Nigeria is the handle. And log on to our website, www.lastweekinnigeria.com. Visit our YouTube channel, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Drop your comments in the comment section. If you need our attention, we'll definitely respond to you. And of course, we have a WhatsApp channel. All you need to do is just go to your WhatsApp channel and type at Last Week in Nigeria. My name is Emmanuel Oriowo, saying a big thank you to you. Happy birthday once again to all the people celebrating their birthday this week in the month of May. We will continue to celebrate you all. Catch you next week. Bye for now.